got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff. But I've spent my entire life building up my business.
And what's it got you? Same kind of mail every morning? Same kind of meetings? Same kind of deals? Same dinners at night? Same indigestion? Don't you think there ought to be something more? You must have wanted more when you started out. Where does the fun come in? We haven't got much time, you know. Any of us.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Live the way you do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. Got time enough for everything. To read, talk, practice my darts, visit the zoo now and then. I even have time to notice when spring rolls around. Don't see anybody I don't want to. I don't have 6 hours of things to do in a day before I get 1 hour to do what I like in. And I haven't taken bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. Well, what's the matter with that?
The matter with that? Suppose we all did it, Mr. Vanderhoff. A fine world we have. Everyone going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhoff. Who would do the work?
Well, there's always people that like to work. You can't stop them. Inventions and they fly the ocean. And there's always people to go down to Wall Street, too, because they like it. But from what I've seen of you, Mr. Kirby, I don't think you're one of them. I think you're missing something.
I am not aware of missing anything.
Well, neither was I until I quit. I used to get down to that office 9 o'clock every morning, no matter how I felt. Used to lie awake nights for fear I wouldn't get that contract. I used to worry about the world, too. Got all worked up about whether Cleveland or Blaine would be elected president. Seemed awful important at the time. But who cares now? My point is, Mr. Kirby, I've had 35 years on this earth that no one can take away from me, no matter what they do to the world, see?
Yes, I do see. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's un-American. And it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony to come under its influence.
Oh, what's the matter with it, Father?
What's the matter with it? Why, it's downright communist, and that's what it is.
You didn't always think so.
What are you talking about? Of course I did.
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You didn't always think so because there was a time you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Why, don't be an idiot, Tony.
Oh, yes, you did. I came across those letters read to grandfather. Do you remember those?
No. How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Oh, well, that's just wonderful, Mr. Kirby. Did you wear tights?
Certainly not. The whole thing was absurd. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes, but at 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player.
Tony!
And at 21, you ran away from home because father wanted you to go to the business. It's all down there in the black and white. You didn't always think so.
Well.
I may have had silly notions in my youth, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went into the business and forgot about them.
Not altogether, Father. There's still a saxophone in the back of your clothes closet.
There is.
That's quite enough, Tony. We'll discuss this later.
No, I want to talk about it now. I think Mr. Vanderhoff is right. I'm never going back to that office. I've always hated it. I'm not going on with it. And I'll tell you something else. I did make a mistake last night. I knew it was a wrong night, and I brought you here on purpose.
Tony! Oh, well,
Because I want you to wake up. I want you to see a family who they really were. A family that loved and understood each other. You don't understand me. You never had time. Well, I'm not going to make your mistake. I'm clearing out.
Clearing out? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to be pushed into the business just because I'm your son. I'm getting out while there's still time.
But Tony, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer, but at least I'll be doing something I want to do.
That must be the cab.
Ask him to wait a minute, Dad.
Grandpa?
You don't mind, do you? Mr. Kirby, your son is going through the same thing you and I did when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself saying the same things to your father 25 years ago. And we were right. We all did it. All those plans we make. What happens to them? Why, it's only a handful of the lucky ones that can look back and say that they even came close. So, Mr. Kirby, before they clean out that closet, I think I'd get a few good hours on that saxophone.
I beg your pardon, but before I make some blintzes, how many of those have you for dinner?
Oh, Your Highness, allow me to present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
How's that?
How do you do? But before I make some blintzes, how many of those will be for dinner?
I'd make quite a stack of them, Your Highness. Can't ever tell.
Good. Cesar always told me, Olga, not be stingy with the blintzes.
Excuse me, Mr. Vanderhall. Who did you say that was?
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. She's cooking dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, Mr. Kirby, why don't you stay?
Oh, please do, Mr. Kirby. We've got all that food out there. We were supposed to have it last night. Oh, I mean tonight.
What do you say? It's going to be a pretty good dinner. And it'll kind of give us a chance to get acquainted.
How about it, Father? Are you staying?
Why? If you'd care to, Tony. I'd like to. Very much.
Now, if Alice will send away that cab, Mr. Vanderhall.
How about it, Alice? It's going to be a pretty nice crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay for dinner?
I'm staying, Alice. The families ought to get to know each other, don't you think?
Mr. Kirby? Tony, oh, Tony! Grandpa, you're wonderful.
I've been telling you that for years.
The United States government again.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, hello.
Now, come to my office.
I better go sell that cab, right? Right!
Well.
What is it, Grandpa?
The United States government apologizes. I don't owe him a nickel. Seems I died 8 years ago. Remember Charlie, the milkman, buried under my name?
Yes.
Well, I just told them that they had made a mistake, and I was Mr. Martin Van Horn, Jr. So they're very sorry, and I may even get a refund.
Why, Grandpa?
Sure.
Excuse me, Mr. Vanderhall. Please tell again how you avoided the income tax.
Tonight, my friends, you are going to eat.
Hello there. How do you do? I'm fine. Good to see you.
What's that?
Say something, Ann.
I think we'll be ready in just a minute. Sit down.
Come on, everybody! It's dinner time! Let's go, Mr. Kirby.
I'm coming.
Stop dancing us even come to dinner.
You will like Russian food, Mr. Kirby.
What's your indigestion, Mr. Kirby?
Nonsense. I haven't any indigestion.
So, Miss Sycamore, how did you the other Adirondacks?
Shut your face, Mr. Kirby.
No, in Russia, when they sit down to dinner.
Quiet, everybody. Well, sir, here we are again. We'd like to say thanks once more for everything you've done for us. Alice and Tony are going to get married, and it seems as if they're going to be very happy together. Of course, all the fireworks blew up, but that was Mr. DePin's fault, not yours. So, we'd all like to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you.
Do you